Greetings, wonderful humans. Welcome back to Board Game Dads. Welcome back to the Board Game Dads Summer Block Party. Welcome back to the 7 themes of summer. And today is all about those yummy, yummy summer foods. My name is Anthony.
My name is Eric.
And I'm Evan.
There you go. We've got a surprise guest for you. Told you folks we would have some guests on. Evan is a longtime listener, first-time guest, which I never thought I'd be able to say about a thing. But there you go. And Evan's got some insights onto some food-related games that we'll be getting into a little bit later. Real quick, Evan, not that we're going to have a whole interview with you here, but Eric and I would love to know, I guess, sort of how you got into content creating instead of like how you got into gaming.
Well, I guess it probably happened the same way it happened with a lot of people, where everybody's sitting at home last year with nothing to do, right?
Right.
I'm like, I watched Favorite Game Friday all the time, even back when it was like just an Instagram show.
Yeah.
And I thought I could probably do that. It's like a 15 second clip, 30-second clip. I just never did it, just put it off like, well, whatever. And then like we're sitting at home with the kids, no school's happening. Like, what do we do? It's like, it's April or May or whatever. Right. We're like, we can do this. Grayson, do you want to do this? Sure. So our first clip is like 10 seconds. All we did was say the name of the game. Like that was it. That was it.
Nice.
And then as time has gone by, I started using my camera instead of the phone. Downloaded like a reel editing program. To try to bought a couple of lights to make it look a little better. And then just for the heck of it, we're like, maybe we can do something on YouTube too. I have no thoughts that anybody's actually going to watch this, but just kind of something for us.
Right, like a practice kind of thing.
Right, and like my mom will watch it.
I'll watch it.
That's nice, thank you. So we're doing like that series. Yeah,
it's good to in college and even younger now, I'm sure in school, that one of the things they really try to get you to do is record yourself. And even when I was teaching as an adult, they would constantly be saying, we should record you so you can watch. You don't know some things that you do, and it's super uncomfortable. It really is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it is that one uncomfortable step, and it does kind of get easier almost immediately. And then, like you said, you sort of see these things that you want to fine tune. I want this to look better. I want this to sound a certain way. I want this in the background, and it's cool. It's a fun kind of journey, and it's interesting that you have the kids involved too. So Grayson was on board from the start. Now your other son is older.
No, he's younger. He's 8. That's Finn. Yeah, he's not as much of a board game player as Grayson is. Like he'll play some things sometimes. But then sometimes, like with the Favorite Game Friday videos, there'll be a topic that's like perfect for him. So that
right.
Yeah, that's funny. That's cool. Maybe he'll come around. There's enough games out there that he'll be hooked on something at some point.
I mean, like there's a few.
Yeah. All right. So this theme, summer foods. Certainly, when you think about summer, one of the first things that comes to mind for me is just barbecues in general. Right. Some people call them cookouts, depending on what your terminology is or where you live. But cooking food and eating said food outside definitely happens a lot in summer. I love eating outside. Eric, is there a particular food that you enjoy eating in the summer more than during the rest of the year?
There's a few. I'm not going to go crazy and name every single type of food that I love to eat over the summer, but there are a few types of fresh fruits that you can only really get during summertime. And specifically cherries and watermelons, 2 of my favorite fruits. And you could really only get them during the summertime. Otherwise, you're going to pay through the nose for it, and then it be that good.
Yep.
So yeah, during the summer months, I got a bowl of cherries sitting in front of me right here.
There you go. Look at you. Are those already pre-pitted cherries? Wow.
So like I said, I think we talked about this previously. Cherries just came into season around me. I'm in Pennsylvania, East Pennsylvania. I'm from Jersey. So we only just got cherries back in season recently. So the first day we saw them at ShopRite, I ran right out and bought a cherry pitter. So now we got all these cherries. We pit them. I'm staying healthy.
There you go.
Now, the other summer food that I have to mention is ice cream. we eat ice cream all year round, but in the summer we eat it during the daytime, and it's more of an event
because it's so
Absolutely.
messy.
because it's a mess. And ice cream truck going around, and I always get snow cones from the ice cream truck. I don't actually get ice cream, but it's fun. It's a fun time to eat ice cream.
You still buy those like rock solid, scrape your teeth on snow cone thing from the truck?
Yes.
Wow, that's
I
impressive.
haven't done that in years.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would enjoy that much anymore.
Really? Oh man, I've been eating snow cones since I was a kid, and I'm not going to slow down now.
Did you have the Snoopy snow cone maker?
I was just going to ask.
I did. I don't ever recall it working, or well, at least because it's just a bunch of like bland ice, and then you put some syrup on top of it. And if it's not the syrup that you used to having in a snow cone or a Slurpee, it's going to taste like garbage.
Yep.
But we had the Snoopy snow cone maker with absolutely.
That's
What do you think, Evan? What reminds you of summer foods?
Yeah, so eating outside, but also festivals, like food festivals. Because downtown in Grand Rapids, in Michigan, where I live, there's tons of festivals. There's like a Hispanic festival. There's like an arts festival. Where there's foods from like all over the place. There's like a Greek festival. There's just festivals and food carts and food, stalls and, grilled food. They got the big turkey legs and elephant ears and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I love it.
That's cool.
I love it all.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about the whole like street fair part of summer.
Yeah,
There's a good amount of those. As a kid, we used to go to that one down in Little Falls all the time every year.
Yeah, to me though, that wasn't much about the food as it was about taking the money that we've got as kids, and getting to hang out without our parents and going to spend money at places where we're buying like those things you throw on the ground, they pop, and stink bombs, and smoke bombs, all the toys and stuff that like our parents won't buy us. Now we can get it. And that's what it was for me. And then you get like some sort of a icy or something, or maybe a funnel cake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, funnel cake, cotton candy.
Yeah,
Good one. That's a good one.
Hot dogs
And hamburgers.
I need more. I need more board games about hot dogs. I have done.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, it just so happens. I know of one
for you.
Speaking of hot dogs, I have an honorable mention that has hot dogs, and it's a very strange looking game, as you can see on the screen there. It's this button shy game, so it's like one of those little wallet games, right? And it's like a speed like matching game. So I don't own it, and I probably wouldn't like it if I did own it, but I would probably buy it for that artwork because look at that. There's the dogs are the hot dogs. So I'm pretty sure you just have to like match the condiments or whatever to whatever dog that comes out.
Right.
Oh my gosh, look at that thing.
It's just called hot dog?
It's just called hot dogs. Yeah.
Hot dogs. Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty adorable.
Yeah. I guess, or disturbing.
I think it's a little creepy.
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it's cute.
But you're going to eat the dog, like literally eat the dog.
You're not going to eat the card, right?
Hopefully not. Yeah.
That's the legacy version.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, like I said, I probably wouldn't like it, and it's really out of print, and I'm sure Button Shy is not looking to reprint this one. So
maybe we'll get a weird reskin of something else at some point in time. You never know.
It kind of looks like Beagles and Bagels.
Oh, yeah.
Or not that it looks like it, but it seems like it's
Food
pretty
and
stupid,
dog,
just like Bagel or Beagle, whatever it's called.
All right, Eric, what do you got for an honorable mention?
So my honorable mention is a little game called My First Orchard. Now I have a 23-month-old who can't even really play it, but we play it with her, and she organizes the fruit, and then she'll take them and she'll put them in the basket when we tell her which ones. And then there's a die she has to roll, and she'll take the die. And there's a track and a little bird that moves up the track. And her game now is throw the die at the bird. So we'll just block it. Whatever she rolls, we'll move that fruit. We'll tell her to mmove the fruit, and she's getting it. And it's cool because it's talking about fruit, and it's exciting for me because I got a kid coming this weekend, and I got a 23-month-old, and we're gonna have this game for a few years. It's gonna get a lot of play, and I don't have a lot of other games specifically about fruit, so this is it. My honorable mention.
I like it. Yeah, we have the one as well. AJ likes it.
Popular.
Yeah, it's almost every time you ask for a recommendation, it's one of the ones that people say that they usually start with.
Yeah.
And we've since gotten 2 more hobby games: the building site one, which comes with a little dump truck,
We got that as well.
and then the new Rhino Hero,
Oh, cool.
like My First Rhino Hero, whatever it's called.
Junior, I think it's called.
Junior, yes, thank you. Haven't busted that one open yet. But all right, so for me, we mentioned eating outside, which I enjoy doing, at my house in summer or when the weather's nice in general. But we have talked about, summer being a time that you go on vacation. And a lot of times, if you are on vacation somewhere that is seaside, whether it's down the shore or on an island or whatnot, there's usually a good amount of fresh seafood.
Yeah.
And it noticeably tastes better. It really, really does. I don't know if it's just a trick because you're sitting by the water and you see like the boats that it probably came on right there, but it's really good. So my HM here is Fleet, the dice game. It's a roll and write that has a lot going on for a roll and write. I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to belabor it too much, but there are lots of different types of fish and sea food, or shellfish, I should say, in the game. There's lobster, shrimp, oysters, cod, swordfish, and maybe something else that I'm forgetting. But yeah, that's it. Fleet, the dice game.
I can't believe I forgot to mention seafood as a summer food because you're absolutely right, man. Every summer, even if we don't go down the shore for a vacation, I got to at least go to like a crab house or just a seafood restaurant where I'm going to get like a nice lobster and some shrimp, because that absolutely says summer.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're down to the real picks here. Eric, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that cookouts, barbecues really are one of the first things that come to mind, and I think your first pick is pretty much related to that. So what do you got first?
My first pick is a game called Burger Up, which is maybe like a 20-minute game. It's 2 to 4 players, and it's a hand management game. And you're making a cheeseburger, or if you don't use cheese, you're just making a burger. And there's going to be different order cards that have specific requests for cheese or double meat or no salad or anything. And then you have all these ingredient cards, and you're trying to make the burgers and sell them so that you get money to buy more ingredients. And it's a lot of fun. It's really cute. It's the closest game, the only game that I've ever seen, not just owned, but the only game I've ever seen dealing specifically with cheeseburgers, which I love. I love cheeseburgers. Like, I'm not going to lie. I love hot dogs. I wish I had a game about hot dogs, but I love cheeseburgers, and I have a game about cheeseburgers. The biggest problem with this game, and I know you guys are going to think I'm kidding, but I'm not. So I own the game, and I own the expansion. I think it's called Burgers of the World. There's no American cheese. They got cheddar cheese. They got Swiss cheese. They got brie cheese. There's no American cheese. And that's so disappointing. Because that's...
See, I like weird cheeses. So, like, the weirder the cheese, the better.
I get it. But I'm very, very particular about my cheeseburgers. Okay. Anywhere I go where they make cheeseburgers, I don't order like the fancy cheeseburger they have. Like, oh, do you want to try the Southwest burger or the New Jersey burger? I want a cheeseburger with lettuce, mayonnaise, fried onions, grill the onions if they don't have fried onions, and mayonnaise, and that's it. And then I'll judge your cheeseburger on how well you do with my control. Like this is a test. You make me what I know I love and what it should taste like, and then I'll rank you. And so yeah, so not having regular mayonnaise in this game, not having fried onions, and not having American cheese is a big knock. But mainly it's the American cheese because they do have spicy tomato on the game.
I gotta agree with you on that one. On the cheese part, the fried onions,
right?
Whatever. Right. But American cheese on a cheeseburger is
I know.
Come on.
They must have looked at it in terms of art. They're like, well, we already have cheddar cheese and the artwork's going to be exactly identical.
Sure.
That's a fair point, I guess. Well, what you could have you could have white American. You could have white American.
That's true. We could have
or white
American.
cheddar. They're interchangeable.
Absolutely.
So these have the burgers you're building have like different names. So like the Colossal Burger or like the World
so there's
Burger.
going to be different orders where the names of the burgers are going to be on the order, and it's going to tell you specifically what's requested for that one. And then you're trying to make that burger. Everybody's trying to make burgers at the same time. So you could be working towards, like the OG cheeseburger or something. and then somebody else gets it before you, and
Okay.
and they have this giant cheeseburger. And you're like, all right, well, what's going to come out next? Like, I got to sell this to somebody, and so it's cool. And there's like perfect ingredients, and you're trying to make money to buy better ingredients to make more burgers, and it works. It works well. It's not very difficult, and it's fun, and it's quick,
And it plays well at 2.
It plays okay at 2. It's been a little while since we've played it.
Okay.
But yes, we definitely didn't have a problem with the 2-player version. It was just, as always, I'm not just taking ingredients when it's the 2-player version. Now I'm taking ingredients from you.
Right. Yeah, and when it becomes obvious what someone's going for.
Right. It's like, oh, you're going for that one? You need 3 meats? I already have 3 meats. I'm going to take this extra burger patty, though, so you don't get it this round. And now I'll just have 4 meats. I'm still going to make the cheeseburger.
All right. So when you have a barbecue or cookout, and again, there's all kinds of stuff you can throw on the grill. Hot dogs and hamburgers are just sort of the staples and basics that you almost always have. But inevitably, somebody always winds up asking, what can I bring? And a lot of times the answer to that is, well, you can make some kind of a salad, because there's all different kinds of salads that you can make. And it's great to have a wide variety of them at a cookout, because you can just take a little scoop of this one. And, next time when you go for your second burger or your hot dog, you can get a different kind of salad. So I decided to go with a little game called Point Salad, which is an apt name for a few reasons. If you know anything about board games at all, you're familiar with this term, point salad, as a way to describe the scoring ways in a game. So there might be a game that has a way to get points for, all the buildings that you have. And then if there's any windows on the building, you get extra points. Then you have this vehicle that multiplies this and this and this. Really, it's just a term for there's lots of ways to score points. And that's why this game is so genius, because it embraced that concept totally, that somebody coined at some point, and literally named it the game. And it's about literal salad. There's so much wordplay going on here that I guess my excitement is out of control. This is a real small card game. It's just cards. There's not even any tokens, I don't think, that come with this game. And there's just a bunch of different types of veggies, as you can see here. And essentially, every card serves a dual purpose. So one side of the card is one of these ingredients: tomato, onion, carrot, etc. But then the other side of the card has some kind of scoring condition on it, which is sort of where the point salad thing comes in. So like in this picture, for example, this is how the game would look, I think, set up initially. And the cards on top, those green ones, are the different points ones. So, you might have a card that says, all right, if you have, for every combination of tomato and onion you have, it's 5 points. Or one that just says you have 1 point per carrot. Or maybe one says you're going to get 2 points for every cabbage you have, but minus 1 point for every, tomato you have. And so these things are constantly changing, and it's up to you how you want to focus and where you want to build your points from. In this game, you pick either one of the point type cards up top, the green ones, or you take 2 ingredients. If you take 2 ingredients, they get replaced. And the cool thing about these cards is on the scoring ones, you can see up in the corners of each what the flip side is. So you know what's coming ahead of time as well, if you want to plan that way.
Right, because if you take that point card, you don't have to use it as a point card, right? You can flip it over and use it as just that one type of vegetable.
Right. And you can do that as soon as you take it. You can't do the opposite. Like, you can't be like, oh, now I have all this stuff, let me flip back over and get these points. But
I didn't realize how many upside down cards there were in this picture. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at it now. I'm like, man, I did a terrible job.
That's fine. Luckily, the iconography is pretty self-explanatory in this game. It's super easy to teach and super fast.
Yeah, I love this game, and I'm not trying to knock it, but again, my only knock on this game, which is really stupid.
All right, well, hang on. Let's see if we can guess what it is you're upset that they don't have. All right.
Cheese. No.
It might be. I would not put it past him. Is it cheese?
It's not cheese. Okay. If it was going to be something like cheese, it would have been croutons.
Okay, that was going to be one of my guesses. How about cucumber?
It is cucumber.
Yes.
Now I get it, right? They already have a green one. They could have had 2 different shades of green. There's a lot of green in salads. You shouldn't be shy to have like a darker
No,
green,
right.
lighter
Yeah.
green. And I just every time I make a salad, that's my go-to, right? You get your lettuce, you got your cucumbers and your carrots, and either the salad is now complete, or do we have any cabbage? Do we have any peppers? And that's it. I don't put onions on a salad. It's weird to me. But I'm missing those cucumbers.
There probably won't be an expansion for that game, but
I don't
there's
know.
ideas.
There is.
To work in.
You should have a light green cucumber.
I thought I heard something about there being a dressing expansion for this,
Like a promo or something, maybe.
but I don't know if that was just like a joke.
I don't know. It would work, right?
Oh,
I mean,
it
all they
totally
need
worked.
to do is just add another 2 types of vegetables with a bunch more scoring conditions, and then like another deck of ranch and like house Italian. And,
they could do like multipliers or something,
Yeah.
or just switch some points around.
Oh, that could absolutely work.
Yeah. This is a fun one. Real quick, if you can pick this up, it's probably like $12 or less. Again, it's a welcoming game because it's so easy to teach. The colorblind's not an issue because you got the names and the different types of vegetables on there. It's just really accessible for all across the board.
And it does not take up a lot of space on the table.
No, it's just cards. It's just cards.
My wife and I have played this one on the couch before.
Couch games. All right, so we had our burger. We had a few salads.
Right.
And we already mentioned this, but it's time for some dessert. So, Evan, what are you serving up for our dessert course here?
Yeah, we're serving up, if you can see that, Rocky Road a la mode, which is the ice cream. But it's not. It's the ice cream truck that's bringing you that. Is what this game is about. So it's from Green Couch Games, which makes these little tiny, like this size box games.
Okay.
And actually, the guy who runs this company lives like a couple blocks that way. So
wow, that's
pretty
crazy.
well. Yeah, I know, right? I know, it's crazy. So you're playing as the ice cream truck, and as you can see there, they stack kind of like Camel Up does.
Mm-hmm,
and then it's the mechanism where the person in last place takes their turns until they're not in last place anymore. And then everything you do costs time, and then the time moves your truck forward. So there's so it's basically where you're trying to get customers to your truck, because you have a hand of cards, right? And in that hand of cards, they're multi-use cards. They have the ice cream that you're serving. They have the custom, like the line of customers, which you can see under the truck right there. And then they have like the rewards.
Those 4 customers.
Okay, well, yeah, here's the thing about that art. I mean, my wife doesn't really like that art because they're colored really strangely, but
I thought it was my glasses.
No, they're bizarre
like,
colors.
They're green, right? Yep.
They're really weird looking. And the funny thing is, the art is by Adam P. McIver, who did Ex Libris. He did the art for this game. I know, weird, right?
Yeah, Ex Libris got great art.
And it's the same art, same artist.
This isn't bad. It was just a little. It threw me for a second.
Odd. Yeah,
it's odd.
Yeah. So anyway, so you have this hand of cards, and you can always draw more cards, but drawing more cards it takes time. So you're moving forward on the track. And then when you're going to serve when you're going to get them in the line, there's a number at the top of the card, like right there, where it shows how much time it takes to get to the customers. I don't know. So you'd move ahead, like those numbers in the right hand side there. You move ahead that many spaces. And then you put those cards underneath your truck, and then you have to serve those customers in the order that they're up there. So, like that person needs 2 popsicles and an ice cream cone. So then you got to use those cards from your hand, discard those cards, just like slide it up so it goes to the next customer. And then when you hit the bottom, then you flip it sideways and it shows you the rewards. And the first person that gets to 9 points, I think it is, wins. So it goes real quick. It's real easy to get to 9 points.
So there's the points are those little ribbons.
The points are the medals. You have the ribbons, and then there's also like extra points for sets, like for collecting sets. Because also you see where the ice cream and like the little creamsicle thing there is on the side.
Right.
Those are like in Splendor, where like it's a permanent supply.
Oh,
cool.
Okay.
So you can either go for points, you can get a big permanent supply where you're just serving customers without necessarily spending the cards out of your hand. And it takes like 15 or 20 minutes. It's real quick. I don't know. It's a lot of fun.
I had never heard of this game, to be honest. And when you sent me the pictures, I was like, "Oh my god, this is little ice cream trucks. This is so cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had heard of this, but I knew nothing about it. But like again, especially for this topic, summer block party, summer foods.
Yeah.
An ice cream truck. Now I know the game that I'm going to talk about next also features ice cream, but this one absolutely has got ice cream trucks.
It's
and
ice cream truck the game. Yeah,
creamsicles,
absolutely.
popsicles. This is really thematic.
And you can play the ice cream truck music in the background. And
absolutely
nuts.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I'm gonna probably have to check this out, and if I ever see this for like $20 or less, I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, probably like 15. Yeah,
this is the kind of game that like you pull this out sometime in the summer, and you want to play a 10-minute game with ice cream, and then you play it, and then you're like, all right, let's go get ice cream.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. So speaking of ice cream
trucks,
ice cream trucks too. That's right.
So the next game that I want to talk about, my last game, is Welcome to Your Perfect Home. I think it's called the Summer Thematic Neighborhood, and it's just the regular Welcome to game, but it adds just a little bit of something extra. This one specifically adds ice cream trucks, which, when starting from one side of the road, whether it be the left or the right, you can really only, if you want to score points for ice cream, if you don't care about scoring points for ice cream, you do whatever you want, like you're playing the regular base game. It's no big deal. You're just going to lose out on a lot of points. But otherwise, the ice cream trucks, you want to be circling these ice cream cones that you see on the board when you put a number in that house. But if you pass a house and put a number in a house that's further down the road than the ice cream truck is at, then the ice cream truck passes all the houses and you cross out all the ice cream cones. You didn't score them. And then you circle whatever house you're at. So you really want to try and number these blocks or roads in ascending or descending order, depending on which side the ice cream truck is on.
Right.
And you can get a lot of points because you're going to get 1 point at the end of the game for each actual scoop of ice cream. So if you got 3 on one of the roads or one of the houses, you make sure you circle that one. You do it with all the 3. You're going to get a big chunk of points.
Yeah. So there's 1, 2, and 3 scoop icons on there.
But other than that, I really love all of these welcome tos, the expansions, the welcome to your Halloween, Doomsday, Spring, all the different ones, because they look so cool. The whole background. This one looks like it's on, like some sort of tropical island. You're down the shore. Whenever we play this game, like 100% of the time, I'm drawing sharks in the water and like little kids playing in the water and ships and everything. And it's cool. And you don't need to. And they don't even need to add that. They don't need to change anything. They can just add these ice cream cones to the board and this ice cream scoring track down the bottom. But they do a little bit extra. They add a little bit of extra in the neighborhood, and this one's like at a shore town, and it's really cool. It's really summery.
Yeah, I agree. This is a great system that you can plug in these thin themes over the top, and it kind of works. I mean, we talk about this game a lot for that reason, right? Especially since we do a lot of holiday spotlight.
Yeah.
They tend to come up.
I'm a big fan of this one
as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have all of them. There's like a weird French one but I don't have that one. But yeah, I do have this one. This one is one of my favorite ones because it does kind of force you to start at the end, or encourage you anyway, to start at the ends and go in, which is how I try to play anyway, other than like trying to guess where in the middle this number should go.
Yeah. It sucks early on in the game when you've got like a 9, a 7, and like another 9 or something, and you're like, all right, I got to make a commitment here to something.
Yep.
Yeah. There's usually a chunk between like 8 and 12 that I find that at the end of the game, I don't have room for 8 through 12. Anytime I see 8, 9, 10, coming up, I'm like, all right, well, can't do anything this time. I just kind of cross it off.
So there's a new version of this just came out, right?
The Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah. Do you have that one, Evan?
I do. I don't have it. No.
Okay.
I've heard mixed things. I heard it overcomplicates it a little bit too much because there's 2 sheets instead of just one. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. I know nothing about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Somehow there's 2 sheets, and it's just a little more than this.
Right. It's more than it needs to be.
Right. That's what I've
And
heard.
This
I
type
don't
of
think
game
they
you
need
don't
to add
need to
anything.
complicate.
No.
Right, exactly.
This,
No, right,
this one
right.
has enough extra.
Right.
It's not just roll the dice, write something down, roll the dice, write. This is, you know, obviously it's a flip and write, so there's no dice. But it adds a little bit of extra, just enough to make it interesting, different, but not difficult, not complex or anything like that. And this is one of my 3 favorite roll and writes. And
Yeah,
again,
totally. Me too.
all 3 of my favorite roll and writes are flip and writes.
Not all fingers are thumbs.
That's true. So by the way, comment down below if you got a roll and write that you think is the absolute greatest roll or flip and write, because I need to play it. I like Castles of Burgundy, the dice game, but and I like it a lot. It's a great game, but I don't want to say that that's my favorite roll and write because it doesn't do enough, right? It's not like Welcome to or Trails of Tucana where I'll consider these my favorite game, not just roll and write game. So I'm looking for something. I want to find something out there. It's got to be something cool.
I heard there's a new version of Welcome to already in development, and again, I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell if something is a joke or not. But I think it was like Welcome to the Moon.
That might be right because I think I saw that too. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
What if they do like a Welcome to the Pandemic?
No, please
and they
don't.
just have like a quarantine kind of like thing.
There already is a zombie one, and
that's true.
The Fallout Shelter one.
And
so,
there's 2 of this. So there's 2 pandemics: there's zombies and Fallout.
All right. So what holiday needs a welcome?
St. Patrick's Day. Oh, Welcome to.
Hey, what did you think I was going to ask? That you answered St. Patrick's.
It's a game in general.
Okay.
Yeah. St. Patrick's Day needs a game.
Okay.
It could be like an Independence Day one with like a fireworks or something like above the houses.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That's good. I like it.
That could work.
Cool.
I'm off Shark Week though, because that's not just America.
But then well, that's true. Would you still draw sharks if there was already sharks on your paper?
I would add on to the pre-existing sharks.
Of course.
Add extra sharks.
Yeah, and add like body parts in the water.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right. So my next game has sort of a little bit of a few categories here. It's got some of the fruits that Eric mentioned he likes so much, and it's got some of the seafood that we talked about as well. Plus, it really is about building these islands, and this is Carcassonne, the South Seas version, part of the Around the World series that Carcassonne did. I don't know if that was the first one. It doesn't matter. But basically, this one changes the game, I think, the most because you're still building the board, right? You still have just these tiles that you're going to make on the table to make the board, create the board as you're playing. And you're still building not towns, in this one it's islands. But you're not going to get points for completing any of the features the way you do in most other Carcassonne games. Instead, you're going to get resources. So this adds 3 resources that you can collect in the game. One of them is bananas. So you get those from completing the islands. And then there's also fish, which you get from fishing. It's basically like farming, but you're in the water. And then instead of roads, this one has bridges that you're going to be using to collect seashells. So in this little picture on the bottom, this yellow meeple right here is building this bridge, and they've got 1 shell so far. If it was finished right there at the end, they would get 1 shell, take their meeple off. The other big difference in this game is you only get 4 meeples, which is, I'm pretty sure, the lowest amount in any Carcassonne game. That being said, you can always take 1 back when it's your turn. The other thing that has the one equivalent, I should say, last one is instead of monasteries in the original Carcassonne, this one has these markets. And if you finish a market, you can take one of these ships. So basically, the reason you're collecting all these resources is to cash them in to fulfill these requirements on these ships. And that's the only way you get points in this game. You get these resources. You say, oh, I've got 3 fish and 1 shell. Cash it in. Here's my boat. You'll do that once per turn. But that's the whole thing. You've got to do that. Sometimes people are like, oh, let me finish this thing first, finish this island first, finish this. You're not getting points for finishing that stuff. You're getting stuff, resources, and you got to trade those things in.
Can you go back 1 picture for a second?
Of course.
I didn't even realize at first that there was a difference between that banana on top and the bananas on bottom and the fish on top. They're barely larger than those.
Yes, it is my one knock on the game.
Huh.
These are really hard to tell apart. So the top
Yeah.
3 bigger ones are worth 3 of that thing, and the ones underneath are singles. And I agree with you 100%. They should have been a different color or
Right.
much smaller or had some kind of marking on them or something, even if it was a number, because
Or just make more of the singles.
sifting through these is tough, right? You're going to really have like 6 separate piles of stuff. I want to be able to easily fish out something that's worth 3 versus something that's worth 1.
Yeah.
And it is a bit challenging in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never played anything except the base Carcassonne. And I don't even own it. Like I've played it at like a game store or whatever. But this version looks really cool because I like the island aspect of that. Instead of just like land and
it's different. It's different enough. It really changes things up a good amount. I know a lot of the other ones do too with animals and things like that,
Right.
but the basic mechanics are always the same.
I think
this one looks the coolest.
Yeah,
it looks the coolest.
It's got the little bridges, all the water. It's very tropical. It looks the coolest out of all of them. Now I've only played this one once, and I remember walking away from it thinking, "Huh, that was more fun than I thought." And I don't know if I've enjoyed any other type of Carcassonne as much as this one until Gold Rush. Gold Rush was really fun, and I never played Star Wars. But that one would be fun just because it's Star Wars.
All right, so that's my last pick here. Carcassonne, South Seas. Check it out. And we're going to round things off with a hot and spicy selection from Evan.
Yeah. All right. So I was talking about festivals before, and then I'm going to talk about Scoville here, which centers around like a hot pepper festival. You can see there's a trophy there on the cover of the box. So it's probably one of the more complex games out of all these that we've been talking about today because there's a kind of a lot of pieces and a lot going on. Because the base you're doing is you're farming these peppers and you're crossbreeding these peppers. Basically, you're planting these peppers, and then you're harvesting these peppers, and then you're spending these peppers. All in preparation for like some big festival or whatever. So when you're spending these peppers, you can spend them at the market to get like a tiny amount of points. But then there's also a chili cook-off going on. Yeah, there's the market right there. So it's small amount of points and maybe some other different types of peppers and some coins and stuff. But then there's the chili cook-off. So there's these chili recipes, and that's where a lot of the points come from. Because you can see some of them go all the way up to 22. And if you have the hottest peppers and like the harder ones to breed, you get a ton of points. Also, you bid for turn order. So you can either choose to like the last person is going to harvest first, but the first person gets to plant first. So you're walking your little farmer dudes around that little farm grid where you're placing the peppers like directly into the board, which creates a cool visual effect there because like the least spicy ones are actually shorter. I don't know if you can tell that from the picture. And then the most spicy ones are actually taller.
That's cool.
Yeah. So then when you pass like an intersection of peppers when you're walking around, then that's what breeds them, and then you just like take them and put them behind your shield for spending later in the game.
I think this game would hurt my head.
See, but it's easier than probably I'm making it sound. You know what I mean? Like that chart can be a little daunting. It's a lot of fun. It's like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. It looks cool. It's got cool peppers and and little pepper meeples and anything having to do with food or even farming always is interesting to me. So we've had this on our radar for a while, and just because we don't like spice, it didn't have us that intrigued. But it's sort of because I've never actually really learned how to play or anything. But from what you're saying, it almost reminds me a little bit about Alchemist.
I never played that. So
yeah, Alchemist. It's got a lot of the same. But it's a mystery, right? Everybody's got their own, you're trying to figure out what happens when you take this ingredient in this one, and then you make this other thing, whereas you already know what you're making.
Right. But then you can see those people, but also when you're planting, anybody can harvest what you've been planting, to crossbreed. So, if somebody's over in one corner, planting some really good peppers to make some really powerful ones, for bigger points, you can kind of walk your little guy over there and take advantage of that.
Do you only have one meeple in this game?
You have one guy, that walks around just like that. Yep.
Huh.
There's
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
little
I,
they-
I would definitely check this out. I mean, this
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
an older
I highly
game at this
recommend
point. It's been out for a long time. This
It,
Yeah.
it has. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like they
Yeah,
were
I
one of
highly
the
recommend it.
first times I saw like customized wooden pieces was in
Mhm.
seeing pictures of this game.
We saw this at Barnes and Noble, and it was like $40. We were like, man, I want to get this, but we want to learn what it's about. And then next time we went back, it just like it wasn't on sale or
Mhm.
whatever, and we just almost bought it multiple times, never pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
recommend
find
it.
that on sale one day.
Yeah, I want to check that out maybe at the very least, because now that I found out my friendly local game store rents games. So maybe
Really?
we'll check that one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
I'll tell
that.
you what, I'm gonna have about 20 weeks off this summer. So we might be renting some
Wow.
games.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How? I mean, is it the same amount of money for any game, or is it like smaller games are cheaper? Do you
So
know?
from what I am to understand, if it's a game that they also sell in the store, you can rent it, pay, whatever, like $10, something like that. If you want to buy it, then you just get that money off of the price. So it's like
That's awesome.
when you rented it, you paid X amount of the full price. When you decided you want to actually buy the new one, you paid the rest of the full price. So you're not
That's
like getting
cool.
extra charge. Yeah, that is really cool.
I like that idea.
Me too.
Awesome.
Evan, do you like spicy food in general?
I do. I love spicy food. Yeah. If it's spicy, I'm gonna try it.
Nice.
Sometimes
nice.
it can go too spicy, and then I'm like, well, but yeah.
It's a fine
I'm all about
line.
it.
It's a fine line where
Yeah.
the flavor becomes
Exactly.
non-existent and it's just about the pain, which is not fun.
Yeah. You gotta find the flavor. Yeah. Find the flavor.
There you go. All right, folks. So we gave you a whole bunch of games about summer foods. You're either hungry at this point or you want to go play games or both.
Both,
but
yeah.
before you do either one of those things, be sure to like this video. Be sure that you are subscribed to Board Game Dads. Go check out Evan over on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and on the Dice Towers Favorite Game Friday. And if I'm missing something,
No, I think that's about it, really.
okay. Well, that's like everything. And also, don't forget, folks, leave us some comments. Specifically, it could be in this video. We would love to know what your summer foods are that you look forward to every year. What are some games about food that you enjoy? But not just this video. Comment on any of the ones that you've watched so far during the summer block party, because we've got that live wrap-up show coming up in August where we really want to feature some of your comments and elaborate a little more about our picks and your picks and all kinds of stuff. So that being said, I want to thank Evan very much for joining us today. It's our 3 board game dads in one spot. Is always a fun time. And
it was
I'm
super
sure
cool
he'll be
being
back.
here. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you
I
for
love
coming.
it.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
Totally.
for sure. We had a great time. Thanks to Eric as always. And I'm going to say goodbye. Eric, anything you want to add before we split?
Oh man, this is usually where I say happy insert holiday. But it's happy summer foods block party.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
Sure.
all right.
How about this? I got it. Ready? Eat happy.
Good. All right, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.